Proposed 250-foot arch is moving forward, but it will have to face a major legal challenge first.
Yeah, federal commissioners delayed making a decision on whether that arch would violate federal height restrictions. Sarah Robinson is live on the National Mall with more on the legal fight that is still surrounding the project. Tell us more, Sarah.
Well, the arch that you see behind me here at the Great American State Fair is a model of the arch President Trump proposed, and it is what it could look like, except the final version would of course be built of stone and stand much taller. But legal experts say the way this project is moving forward breaks with more than a century of legal precedent.
So many of the decision makers seem inclined to just sort of push this project forward without following the appropriate legal process.
Nicholas Sansone represents a group of Vietnam veterans suing the Trump administration over the proposed Trump Arch. The 250-foot structure, adorned in gold, would be built at Memorial Circle near the entrance to Arlington National Cemetery.
It's really emblematic of an approach that this administration has taken.
The veterans argue the administration must get congressional approval before moving forward.
For me, that view is not merely visual, it is remembrance.
The National Capital Planning Commission, the federal agency that reviews major federal projects in the region, approved the arch's preliminary site and building plans on Thursday. But commissioners delayed a decision on whether the project complies with the Height of Buildings Act.
Those materials provide what I believe is a compelling argument that the Height of Buildings Act is not binding on the federal government.
The 1910 law generally limits buildings in the district to 130 feet.
This would be an entirely new interpretation of a century-old law, not one that I think will succeed if this is challenged in court.
Sarah Bronin is an attorney and expert in historic preservation. She disagrees, saying the height law has long been understood to apply to federal buildings and believes the project would face an uphill battle in court if approved.
Given the fact that we have had over a century's worth of interpretation of the Height of Buildings Act, and at every turn, federal buildings have been covered by the act. They have not been exempted. I can't imagine that a court would overturn that type of precedent.
Now, it's also important for me to note that there are still other concerns to be resolved, including traffic and parking. Right now, the Department of the Interior is proposing that visitors to the arch park in the existing Arlington National Cemetery parking lots, which would be about a 10-minute walk to the arch. I'll send it back to you guys.
Renderings really give you an idea of the scope of this project. I don't think people understand just how huge this arch is going to be.
We looked at it and said, boy, that is really massive.
Yeah, a lot bigger than that one behind you, Sarah. We know that you're at the Great American State Fair. It wraps up today, so what is it like on this night?
When we first got here around 4 p.m., it wasn't that crowded. Of course, it was raining at that point, but I want to show you what it looks like now. The rodeo just wrapped up. There are crowds all over the National Mall. And it also is important for me to note that there's more people here than what you just see on the mall. There are people inside the booths. The booths have air conditioning. You can visit all of the states and get little goodies. So we have been checking that out as well. Back to you.
All right, Sarah, thanks so much.
All right, some other news we're following tonight. D.C.'s Attorney General is suing the owners of two